How expectant mothers have been impacted by the pandemic.
More Americans are under stay-at-home orders today, and field hospitals continue to be built. I'm Elise Preston with a look at how the nation is responding to the COVID-19 surge.
What a new study shows about the long-term neurological effects of COVID-19.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Expecting mothers are feeling the strain of COVID-19. This is KOM News at 5. Both Mercy and Freeman hospitals have strict policies in place to help protect pregnant mothers and their newborns. Currently, mothers are only allowed to have one visitor with them during delivery. That can be hard for parents deciding who gets to be in the room on that big day. One Joplin mom says she also had to go to ultrasound appointments alone.
We got to see our first ultrasound with the kids, but after that, they no longer could come. And so only my husband could attend. And then right at the beginning of March, they stopped allowing him to come, which was a little scary because I was a high-risk pregnancy.
Olsen gave birth to a healthy baby girl. Look at her. Tonight at 6, we're going to learn more about the precautions this mom took to keep her family safe. Missourians could be asked to do their own contact tracing if their local health departments become too overwhelmed. The state has put out new guidance encouraging local health departments to shift resources to case investigations if they become too overwhelmed with new cases. At that point, they will be able to ask positive cases to contact anyone they've had close contact with and ask them to quarantine. Both Newton and Jasper County say they're still doing all of their contact tracing, but it's become a challenge.
You know, we've recently had cases that were associated with weddings or school events or things of that nature, and so you end up with more contacts in situations like that than you would just someone who's primarily had household contacts. So in those situations, it does become a little more time-consuming.
Tonight at 6, we're going to hear about the stresses of the job from one of Newton County's contact tracers in particular. Stay-at-home orders are back in effect for most Californians today because of surging coronavirus hospitalizations there. Per capita, hospitalizations are highest in the nation in next door Nevada. And in New England, 3 new field hospitals have opened up. Elise Preston reports on the nationwide coronavirus surge.
Starting today, 85% of California residents have been ordered to not leave their homes for at least the next 3 weeks, except for essential purposes. Coronavirus hospitalizations tripled in the last month, and yesterday the state recorded more than 30,000 new cases. That's the highest single-day total in any state so far. During the lockdown, restaurants will only be able to serve takeout, and owners are worried their businesses won't survive.
Once this is over, there's not going to be too many people left. This is the last straw that's going to break the back of the camel.
In Nevada, where hospitalizations per capita are the highest in the nation, a medical center in Reno is using its parking garage to treat less critical COVID patients. Beds inside the hospitals are for patients who are fighting for their lives.
Never in my wildest nightmares would I ever have thought that we would ever see something that would be killing this many people.
In New England, at least 3 new field hospitals have opened up, including one at the Rhode Island Convention Center and another in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Here in New York, new coronavirus infections and hospitalizations continue to rise. Today, the governor ordered all hospitals to increase bed capacity by 25%.
Governor Andrew Cuomo was joined in his news conference by Dr. Anthony Fauci, who warned the surge from Thanksgiving will collide with Hanukkah and Christmas.
So you have a surge upon a surge, and then before you can handle that, more people are going to travel over Christmas. We could start to see things really get bad in the middle of January.
For some Americans, the virus hit much sooner. Janet and Richard Gingras of Providence, Rhode Island, both died of COVID-19 just days apart.
What really hurt our family and other families, I'm sure, is the inability to go and comfort them.
The couple was about to celebrate their 70th wedding anniversary. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Pre-K and elementary students went back to in-person learning today in New York City, the nation's largest public school. The reopening strategy includes mandatory weekly randomized testing of students and staff. Doug Heddy joining us now with our first look at weather. You ordered up a beautiful weekend. Also, it's been a good Monday, really.
Yeah, most of the weekend turned out pretty good. And then today, another great day as our temperatures are slowly warming up across the region. Pretty much clear skies. That's what we've seen today. That's what we have outside for us right now. In fact, the entire Central Plains, we have pretty much clear skies. A weak little wave is passing by just to our east. But besides that, we look pretty good. We do have a storm system way out west that will affect us late this week, but at least the next couple days, we are shaping up pretty good. Most of us into the lower 50s, still sitting into the upper 50s. In our western counties, we have this kind of light west, northwesterly wind, which has been kicking in. But as we go through the evening hours, it looks fine. We'll drop back through the 40s, 30s, and of course, we'll look at the next few days and the entire week here in just a bit.
Doug Hetty, see you a little later. Thank you so much. President-elect Joe Biden officially announced members of his health team today. They include California Attorney General Xavier Becerra as Health and Human Services Secretary, Dr. Vivek Murthy as U.S. Surgeon General, and Dr. Rochelle Walensky to lead the Centers for Disease Control. Meanwhile, President Trump will host a vaccine summit tomorrow ahead of Thursday's FDA meeting that could give Pfizer's vaccine the go-ahead, the green light. Still ahead, hitting the trails.
A fast-growing school sport is already geared toward the pandemic. I'm Michelle Medina with more on mountain biking and where the trail leads next.
And next in Health Watch, going to look at the long-term neurological effects of COVID-19. Doctors are still learning about the long-term effects patients can face weeks, even months after having the coronavirus. Now, a first-of-its-kind study highlights the neurological problems for many COVID survivors. Reporter Laura Podesta has more.
Maria Manfredini and her fiancé were planning their dream wedding in Italy when the pandemic hit. Forced to cancel, they took a quick trip to Arizona in June and came home with COVID-19.
No smell, no taste, horrible body aches, and it really attacked my legs. Horrible leg pains.
6 months later, the 35-year-old is still not feeling well. Her worst symptoms, leg pain and brain fog.
It's extremely frustrating because everybody, the first thing they tell me is, well, you look great. You can't be sick. At the end of the day, I'm exhausted. I'm in pain.
Neurological symptoms can be common with COVID-19. New research from a Northwestern medicine study looked at more than 500 hospitalized patients and found 82% had neurological issues while they were sick.
Muscle pain, headache, encephalopathy, which means alteration of mental function, going from mild confusion all the way to coma, dizziness, disorder of smell and taste.
Dr. Igor Koralnik oversees the Neuro COVID-19 clinic at Northwestern. Most patients are long haulers like Maria, young, previously healthy, had less severe COVID, and still suffering with issues.
Lingering and fluctuating over time, sometimes lasting months. The general trend is for people to improve over time.
They think I'll fully recover, which is, fantastic. But at the end of my appointment with him, I just broke down again and thanked him.
Maria and her husband were married in September. She's trying alternative treatments like vitamin infusions and diet and says some of her symptoms are improving. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
The study also found hospitalized patients had more serious neurological problems such as stroke, seizures, and movement disorders, but those were less common. More than 1.3 million children have now tested positive for the coronavirus. The data, compiled by the American Academy of Pediatrics and the Children's Hospital Association, found the week ending November 26th saw the largest weekly increase in children's cases since the pandemic began. Children and teens should wear a face covering even when playing sports outdoors. That's the new recommendation from the American Academy of Pediatrics. It acknowledges that masks should not be worn, however, during some competitions like that, gymnastics or wrestling, because the covering could impair vision or even become a choking hazard. Obesity rates may be the reason more black women die of breast cancer. According to a new study published by the American Cancer Society, higher rates of obesity and other health conditions contribute to the 40% mortality gap between black and white women. Doug is up next with his complete forecast, and a bit later, why Chick-fil-A is suing some of its top chicken suppliers.
Well, it turned out to be pretty good weekend. And then today, a nice start to the work week as we have plenty of sunshine across the region. And temperature is pretty good. Most of us into the mid-50s for highs. And it looks like we're going to have a calm few days. We're actually going to warm up. We're going to see 60s, actually pushing 70. And then we are going to watch a couple waves that are going to roll out toward the weekend. Of course, you can get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog. That is KOAMnewsnow.com. But temps have been great. Lower 50s yesterday, a cold start this morning into the 20s, but mid-50s for highs for us today. So really pretty good across the entire four-state area. Still, most of us low to mid-50s, 50 in Carthage. We have 54 in Bonita. Anderson is sitting at 50. Iola is checking in at about 53 degrees. And if we look outside, off toward the east, it looks pretty good. 51 right now. Southwesterly winds at about 5 to 10. Humidity is at 52%. And we're going to drop back through the 40s, 30s throughout the evening hours. And then eventually we'll bottom out right around 30 degrees a little bit later on tonight. But clear skies right now. There's not much going on. In fact, the entire Central Plains look pretty good. We have a weak little wave that is passing by. That gave us a few clouds earlier today, but besides that, there's just not much going on. If we go way out west, that's where we start to find our next storm systems. You can see a little wave off the coast of California toward Los Angeles, and then the jet stream picking up a bit in the Pacific Northwest. So that's going to be our next systems down the road, but at least for the next few days, we are shaping up pretty good. So for tomorrow, looks good. Wednesday looks great. We'll get a wave that kicks out by Friday, giving us some rain chances, and then colder air behind it. We'll have to see what the backside wave wants to do on Saturday and Sunday to see if we get any snow chances. But until then, I think we are pretty calm. For us tonight, still kind of cold. We'll drop back near 30 degrees for an overnight low. So we'll start the day on the chilly side, 30 west winds at about 5 to 10. I still think we'll have plenty of sunshine again tomorrow. Quick warm up, 52 by noon. Then most of us will top out right around 57, maybe even 58 degrees during the afternoon. So Tuesday looks great. Let's go into Tuesday night into Wednesday. Our southerly winds start to pick up even a little bit more. I think our temperature is even warmer on Wednesday, as we should go to about 67, 68 degrees. And then even on Thursday, we're going to get a few more clouds, but our temperatures look fantastic, as we should go into the upper 60s for highs. Then the clouds will start to increase late Thursday, and we'll start to get some rain chances in here by the time we head into Friday. 57 tomorrow. Let's go 68 on Wednesday, which is kind of crazy. 67 on Thursday. A little bit cooler on Friday. We're going to have rain chances. Could mix with, maybe change over to a little bit of snow Friday night into Saturday morning. And then again, a little rain snow mix possible on Sunday. Temperature is quite a bit cooler, but at least the next, 4 days?
Yeah.
Look absolutely fantastic.
They do, especially Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah,
Nice.
upper 60s to near 70 in December is pretty hard to beat.
I'll take it. Okay, thank you so much. Just ahead, the fast-growing school sport of mountain biking. First, we recognize an area veteran of the U.S. Army who was killed in action serving our nation. Oklahoma native Christopher Gailey joined in 2007. He served in Iraq and Afghanistan and was killed in 2011. We are proud to salute U.S. Army Sergeant Christopher Gailey, a four-state hero. Chick-fil-A is suing its top suppliers, alleging price fixing. The largest chicken chain in the U.S. alleges the companies, including Tyson Foods, also Purdue Farms, coordinated pricing. The suit claims they then collectively reduced production to inflate prices. Representatives for Tyson and Purdue said the claims were unfounded. There's some privacy concerns over Amazon's new Wi-Fi sharing feature. Customers with Echo and Ring devices will automatically be opted into the new Sidewalk feature. It takes a small slice of a user's Wi-Fi bandwidth so devices can work over a longer distance. The new network will be rolled out later this year in the U.S. and users can disable this feature. Mountain biking is a fast-growing school support. It has a lot of support, and it's going on in schools, and it's thriving in spite of the ongoing pandemic. Reporter Nichelle Medina caught up with a team in Chula Vista, California, where students are learning to conquer challenges on and off the trails.
When high school junior Isabella Marquez fell off her mountain bike and broke her elbow, she couldn't wait to get right back on again.
Once you fall in love with something, you don't want to fall out of it.
She's part of her school's 50-member mountain biking team in Chula Vista, California, and there's a growing wait list.
Look through the turn.
The National Interscholastic Cycling Association, or NICA, says student participation in mountain biking is up 12% this year in spite of the pandemic, with 31 leagues in 30 states.
A lot of people across the country want to see this, and so we're just seeing explosive growth.
A typical race weekend turns into a giant social event for students and their families. This year, leagues have had to modify, holding time trials without spectators. But riders are still getting out on their bikes.
On the actual trails, you can social distance a lot too. If you're passing people, usually it's just for a second or two.
School mountain biking doesn't cut anyone from the team, and students aren't required to compete.
It is for the most disciplined athlete who wants to qualify for varsity or be on podium, all the way to the other end where we have riders who simply want to get on their bike.
NICA has increased participation among girls and is looking to reach new riders in urban areas. Organizers say you don't need an expensive bike, and there's help from local scholarships and corporate sponsors like Trek.
We want to make sure that mountain biking is accessible to the widest range of people as possible.
Coaches say it's about building life skills like tenacity and self-confidence that riders will carry with them long after high school. Nichelle Medina, CBS News, Chula Vista, California.
Trek donates $10 to NICA from every mountain bike sold. Local shops often make matching donations. There are loaner programs in some areas for kids who need bikes. In our area, hundreds of miles of bike trails have been developed in and around Bentonville, Arkansas, which has become a destination spot for mountain bikers of all sorts, not necessarily part of a school team. Also, some communities in southwest Missouri are considering developing more trails. A new survey shows we've all got a bit of a speed demon in us, but some drivers are worse than others. According to AAA, young men are the most aggressive drivers. The survey indicates men are most likely to engage in aggressive passing, tailgating, and overall road rage, while speeding was a common traffic violation for both men and women in most age groups. Final check of the forecast next. News is next. Then on KOAM News at 6, going to have more from Jasper County health officials about residents possibly doing self-contact tracing. Plus, details on an ordinance Joplin City Council will be voting on tonight regarding a city trash collection contract. And we're going to hear from former Carl Junction basketball standout Katie Scott on her strong start at Grand Canyon University. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News, then KOAM News at 6. Our annual Toy Box campaign is in full swing. Each year we ask for donations of toys or money to buy toys to give to area kids in need. You can find a list of toy drop-off locations on our website, koamnewsnow.com, or you can donate by phone during our Toy Box Tuesday telethon tomorrow on our noon, 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. news. The first sample collected from material under the surface of an asteroid has touched down on our planet. Isn't that amazing? It came in a capsule dropping to Earth from the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency's Hayabusa 2 mission. Hayabusa 2 launched in December of 2014, arriving at the near-Earth asteroid Ryugu in June 2018 and taking the sample. Scientists believe asteroids like Ryugu hold a key to what made Earth able to support life. Science is amazing, and the things we use to study science, is just developing all the time. One amazing scientist joins us now for a final check of the weather. Doug, that's you.
Hey, Jordan. It looks like we're going to have a pretty good evening. We're going to have clear skies. We're going to drop back kind of cold tonight to right around 30 degrees. Tomorrow looks great. Sunny skies, 57. Look at Wednesday, 68 degrees, 67 on Thursday. Then some rain chances will start to roll in by Friday. A couple more chances and cooling down as we work into the weekend.
All right, Doug, thank you. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we'll be right here. KOAM News at 6. See you then. Have a great evening.